running for woman representative in Nairobi County for a second term. The reason I want to run for a second term is because there's so much more work that needs to be done. The first term was not enough to really do everything that I want to do in terms of creation of safe spaces. We put out 50 million shillings to create a shelter for Nairobi, which will be the first shelter in Nairobi. We only just signed the MOU recently.
Esther Passaris, a woman who walked the complicated road of identity, business, motherhood, politics, mental health, and still found her way to shine. Esther Passaris was born on October 20, 1964 in Mombasa. Her father was of Greek descent, a naval engineer with strict sense of discipline. Her mother, part Kikuyu and part Dutch, brought a warm resilience. Growing up in a mixed-race household in coastal Kenya wasn't always easy. She often struggled to fit in, too light for some, too African for others. But from that complexity, Esther built a strong identity, not defined by others, just herself.
Women take everything seriously. A woman, even if she's unwell, she will get out of bed and make sure the children eat. She will make sure the children go to school. She will do everything in her power to make sure it all works. She's born with that. She's a nurturer. She's got that. It's a natural inbuilt wiring in her.
She attended Aga Khan Academy in Mombasa, a place where her academic potential began to shine. Later in life, she would pursue a law diploma from the University of London, then later a degree in International Business Administration from New SIU in 2017, proving that learning never ends, no matter your age. Before politics, there was passion. Before the title Honorable, there was a hustle. Esther's early career was in sales and marketing. She worked with Africa Air Rescue and later with a company that supplied Coca-Cola. But it was the city lights, or the lack of them, that changed her life. In 2002, she founded Adopt a Light, a social enterprise that sought to solve Nairobi's street crisis. She partnered with Nairobi City Council and businesses. The deal being, light up a street and in return you get advertising space on the pole. It was a genius. Within a few years, Nairobi streets that were once pitch dark and dangerous began to glow with light and possibility. Crime reduced and businesses extended hours. People felt safe. But success didn't come without enemies. When she tried to expand the project to other counties, political sabotage kicked in. Her contracts were cancelled. Payments were delayed and litigation followed. But Esther, she didn't stop. While she inspired many on the outside, Esther was quietly fighting demons on the inside. In interviews, she has openly discussed her lifelong struggle with mental health, from dyslexia and ADHD to obsessive-compulsive disorder and even PTSD. Her battles were real. She will later say, "People see the lights I put up, but they don't always see the darkness I've had to walk through." Her honesty opened up new conversations in Kenya around neurodivergency, therapy, trauma, and healing. Esther is also a mother.
Honestly, it's my first time voting, and so far I'm getting the full experience, but definitely will be voting in the future.
One message to the young girls at home.
I think voting is especially important for women, considering we as women always have to work for our rights as women, and I think this is the one time that you can try and elect a female vice president.
She shares 2 children with prominent Kenyan businessman Pius Ngugi, a relationship that attracted public scrutiny. In 2003, she filed a child support case against him, demanding that he acknowledge and support his children. The media feasted on the story, painting her as either a gold digger or a bold woman fighting for her children. The truth is, it was complex, as life often is. She never let the headlines define her. She kept raising her daughter McKenna, who is now a singer and activist, and her son Lefteris with love and dedication. She became a public advocate for single mothers, drawing from her experience to speak against stigma. Her entry into politics wasn't graceful, but it was brave. He contested for Nairobi mayor and MP, but lost. Still, her visibility grew. Her confidence on stage, her business success, and her unique style stood out. In 2017, running under the Orange Democratic Movement, she was elected Nairobi County Women Representative. She campaigned not just on party strength but on her record of impact. Her work on parliament included advocacy for women's reproductive health, fighting for small businesses, pushing for more funding in urban development, and calling out corruption without fear. In 2022, she was re-elected. On the night of her win, she tearfully dedicated it to her late father, the Greek engineer who raised her with both love and discipline. Like all outspoken women in leadership, Passaris has faced scrutiny. She's been criticized for her fashion, her private life, and even her silences. In late 2023, following a surge in femicide cases, many Kenyans online questioned why women leaders like her weren't speaking louder. She responded, acknowledging the outcry, and vowed to push harder on gender-based violence legislation.
My take is that we need to make sure that the issues, the causes of sexual gender-based violence, which is unemployment, which is mental health, which is stress, which is, have to be addressed, all right? And maybe we should also think of returning the death sentence, because people feel that they can get away with it and end up in prison, and it's not a big price to pay. But for me, sexual gender-based offenses should not be bailable.
Her critics may not always agree with her, but even they know she doesn't back down. Esther is not just a politician, she is an entrepreneur, a mother, a fighter, and a survivor. She speaks 5 languages, she loves art, once pursued beauty pageants, and deeply believes in women owning their power. She has encouraged women to delay motherhood to first build their education and economic strength. In her own words, she says, "I had my first child at 32 and I have never regretted waiting." As Nairobi's lights continue to shine, many still lit through her original adopter light poles, Esther Passaris' legacy is still being written. She dreams of a city where women are safe, where youth find jobs, where mental health is normalized, and where leaders serve without stealing. In a world of political noise, she remains a strong voice, imperfect but honest, brave, relatable, and deeply committed. So the next time you walk under a well-lit Nairobi street at night, think of Esther, a woman who lit up the city, not just with bulbs, but with a vision. And her message is, don't wait for permission, just start, be the light.